Was raised in the church as a Lutheran. Wanted nothing to do with God, but my mother was the type, you're going, as long as you're under this roof, you're going to church. Because she was, for a number of reasons, obviously. But I would fight it, and it's a long story. We had many Sunday mornings where it was horrible for her. I even made her cry a few times, refusing to get out of the bed to go to church. And I didn't realize it, and I can't really put my finger on it, but I had this internal hatred for God that I wasn't even aware of. And that culminated in just a few events, a culmination of events that took place. What happened was, and this is going way back, I was about 15 years of age, this power of suggestion, I'll call it. We were living in this house in the middle of these bean fields out in Idaho. I was 15 years of age. And now, mind you, I never really had a conscious thought of, I hate you, God. But down deep inside, there was like this, obviously there was this hatred, because this voice, this power of suggestion, this idea came to me, Christopher, why don't you tell him how you feel? Why don't you curse him? I didn't realize it either, but coming from a dysfunctional family is what really affected a lot of things affect your view of God, but I realize now, getting off subject a little bit, that it was coming from a totally dysfunctional, broken family that ultimately led me to have this anger. But like I said, I don't ever remember. I remember being fascinated by the dark side. I remember thinking about how cool it would be to have powers, like satanic powers, and I used to doodle like upside down crosses and 666 and at school, and pentagrams even. And I actually remember thinking how cool it would be to have control of demons, so that if somebody messed with me, I could just send a demon after him and they'd kill him. And, but I don't remember actually ever thinking hatred towards God, like I hate God. But anyway, it came to me to curse him, to tell him how you feel, Christopher. This voice. I don't know if it was me or it was outside. I don't know. And it even used the rationale of, well, you're not supposed to lie, right? You're supposed to tell him how you feel, right? What harm could it do? What's And then I thought, no, he'll kill me. I remember that too. I remember I was in the outside the house. He'll kill me. So I didn't go for it that time. At another later occasion, I remember exactly where. Well, I know exactly where I was. I was at the house after school. It came to me again, and I thought, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna do it. And I went outside, and I looked up at the sky, straight up at the sky, and with two middle fingers, just like this, right up at the sky. I mean, straight up. I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't saved. When I went to church, I don't remember anything about the sermons. I was usually thinking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, because I was a carnal little kid. I mean, I was a carnal teenager. So I don't know what drew me up, and I knew to go that way. But anyway, with two middle fingers raised to the sky, just like that, I began to cuss out the Trinity. And I've grappled with, well, should I tell you exactly what I said? I think I should. I mean, this is filthy. But I don't know if I should.
Yeah, let it out, man.
Yeah, I mean, I called Jesus Christ a sand nigger. I told God to suck my dick. I called him a piece of shit. I told him he's left us all down here to die. And he's disgusting. You're missing in action. You don't give a fuck about any of us. I hate you. I can't stand. I mean, I just went on and on, man. It's emotional even reliving this, man. It's
stuff out.
Yeah. I mean, and so I did that, and at the end, I was like, so kill me. I don't give a fuck. Kill me. And I was just standing there, and nothing happened. I kind of had a chuckle. Kind of had a little laugh, and I was like, yeah, it felt good. And I think I was more for more of a reaction. I know, in fact, all human beings know God exists. They want, they want more than when we're separated from Him. So it's really quite a terrible thing, the curse that's happened because of sin. But I don't want to get into all that. I'm getting off track again. It's a summary. So I did that. And I was already living in depression. I was already socially dysfunctional. I was just a messed up kid. So I was already screwed up. I was already having serious issues in life, obviously. But time went on. We moved back. It was like 3 years. So I didn't realize at the point I cursed myself. You know how you see kids, they talk about how they mess with Ouija boards. They have no idea what they're dealing with. They have no idea what they're getting involved with until it's too late, and these dark forces gain entry into their life, and then they're screwed. And you don't think to turn to Christ at all. But anyway, the same thing happened to me. I didn't mess with witchcraft, but I guarantee you do something like that, it probably came from Satan. That the suggestion came from him and my own heart. Who knows? But what happened was 3 or 4 years later, this strange phenomena began to occur in my life. And I was just as lost and just as unsaved as ever. And I remember my mother even with tears streaming down her face, man, and telling me, you're not the child I raised, something's happened to you, something's wrong. And me just being oblivious to it, I didn't care. All I cared about was what I wanted to do. Anyway, the phenomena was this. I was 18 years of age. I think I was I graduated from high? Yeah, I was graduated from high school. And we were living in this apartment at the time. I was living with my mother still, and I just noticed how I was becoming like, you know when you're a little kid, 7, 8 years old, and you're terrified of the dark? Except it was worse than that. It was literally like, I even would test myself, and I would at night, the hallway was dark. It was like there was something sinister and evil living in the darkness. And it's supernatural, it's spiritual. I still to this day don't understand it. If you look at hauntings and you look at other demonic stuff people have been through, it's hard to even explain. So, but I would test myself and I would put my back to the darkness, and I was just like, I couldn't do it. I'm 18 years old, 250-pound man, and I'm afraid of the darkness. I even looking into the darkness, it's like, man. And so I'm like thinking to myself, what is wrong with me? What is going on with me? What is this? At the time I didn't know anything. I was like, what is wrong with me? Now I know exactly what was wrong, what was happening. Anytime you, I couldn't even function. I was living on her floor. I was obsessing on dark things all day long. I was literally losing my mind, and I was watching myself lose my mind, but I didn't know how to stop it. And at night, it got so bad at night, it escalated and got so bad at night, I would literally have to sit with my back up against the wall, and I would sit there at night and just be like, I was going schizophrenic, and I would just sit there and with all the lights on. She would go to bed and be like, I don't know. She would go to bed, she had to shut the door too, because I couldn't stand the darkness coming out of the hallway. Something about that darkness that I just couldn't handle. And I would sit there with all the kitchen lights on, the living room lights on, the eating area, everything lit up. And I would sit there with my back against the wall. And I would sit there with my back against the wall, and I would just shake all night long and just deal with the affliction. Mind you, not knowing what was going on. I would like involuntarily shake. I was terrified of something. I didn't know what. And I got so bad sometimes I would put on clothes and I would go outside and I would walk, which was really hard because it was dark. And that's nothing. At night, it would always come for me. During the day, I would obsess on Hitler and Charles Manson. I was just totally out of it. Just really antisocial. Just totally out. I was obsessed on darkness and evil all day, as if that was something I needed to even think about. And so I would go outside at night, because you're looking for a way to get away from the affliction. There's nowhere to go, but you're trying to get away from it. So I go outside, and I would make sure I would walk down the middle of the street so that the lights would be on me, and I would look to the left and to the right, and that darkness on either side, it was just like, I'd walk up to the corner store, get something to eat, whatever, totally alone, no friends, nothing. So I was trapped like this. This went on for a while, and my mom, she was going to counseling, group counseling for her own demons and her own issues, because she had a horrible childhood. And she started to talk to people. This is what's going on with my son. I don't know what to do. It's really starting to bother me. And this woman said, you know what, sounds like he's got some spiritual warfare going on. There's a book by Charles Kraft. He's a professor of anthropology and theology down at Pasadena, down at Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena. You need to read that book, and you need to give it to him. So she comes home with it, she gives it to me, and I read the book at night while I'm sitting there just losing my mind. And I'm identifying with what's in this book, left and right, about demonic oppression, demonic affliction. Now, the first point I should make is, once you realize it's demonic, that even led to even more fear, and even more terror, because I realized they've shown up to take me out. I did what I did. It's like witchcraft. You can't get involved with Satanism. You can't, if you look at any of these testimonies, like Ramirez, he was involved in Satanism. Yeah, he got saved. Yeah, he got out of it. But guess what? This demonic affliction, they were trying to rip his soul out of his body. Well, with me, you can't sit there and for every sin, with any sin, there's always repercussions. It's always, just because you get saved, it's not over. Because there's a lot more to this story that goes on for 14 years, even with this ex-girlfriend of mine. This is just a summary. But I cursed myself, and God revealed that to me. And out of this, I did get saved. I read the book, I realized what was going on. She literally called Charles Kraft and said, look, this is what's going on, what do I do? And he said, well, he needs deliverance. I can't do anything for you because I'm in Los Angeles, but there's a pastor by the name of Arlen Askew with Vineyard Fellowship in your area in Portland. Here's his number, call him, and he'll take care of this. So my mom did that. This is emotional, just talking about this again in depth. My mom did that, called Arlen. Arlen got me on the phone. He said, I want you to repeat this after me. And mind you, this is what blows me away too, because at this point where I'm on the phone with him was where total proof came to me that this is nothing more than total demonic oppression and demonic affliction. He says, repeat after me. I renounce all the powers of dark. I told him what I did. You see, I renounce all the powers of darkness. I renounce all the powers of darkness, and I submit myself to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. The minute I prayed that prayer with him, I can't believe I don't remember if I got saved before that or not. I don't think I did. But the minute I prayed that with him, when I was praying it with him, I was like this. I was like, just out of my mind. Just I could not control my faculties. The minute I prayed that with him, boom, just gone. And I started crying. I was like, wow. It just left me. It was just gone. Like, it's like being in a really, really hot room and then you step into an air conditioning room. Just like that. Boom, gone. Or being in a really hot or a really cold freezer and then stepping out into warm air. Just boom, change just like that. Or it's like going from taking off all your clothes and then you're dirty and you're filthy, and then boom, you go into the shower and all of a sudden you have those. It's that dramatic of a change just in that prayer. At the moment I said those final words, and I submit myself to the Lordship of Jesus Christ, bam, the affliction left. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember if I got saved before or after that, because there was another instance. I'm trying to remember. Did I get saved before or after that? I think it was not like a day or so after that. Because no one led me into salvation. I remember what happened. I was sitting in the living room one day, and there was another affliction that happened off of this that I don't want to talk about. It's personal because it was really disgusting and just really touchy. I might talk about it at a later date, but it's kind of embarrassing. The affliction that was coming to my mind and what was coming after me, trying to take me out. But I was sitting in the living room and I said, I was crying, and I said to Jesus, if this is you, please forgive me. I can't take it anymore. I renounced everything that I had said 3 or 4 years earlier, but 18. I said, God, please save me. Just everything. It was pouring my heart out. And immediately there was a change, and I began to read scripture, and I remember that though. They tried to convince me I couldn't be saved. They're like, you belong to us. You can't. Christopher. They're like, are you insane? You cursed him to his face. You cursed God to his face. You cannot be saved. He does not want anything. I was hearing this in my head. I was going, so I'd tear through scripture trying to like, oh my God, you know? And my mom at the time was spiritually weak, so she wasn't there for me. But that's all right, you know, it's just the way it is sometimes. But that's how I got saved. Now, that's a quick summary. There's a lot more to that, and there's a ton more that's happened after that. But you know what? That's basically a summary. Yeah, it's basically a summary.